Coming to you from the award-winning Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge, PCA's 2024 Best of Leaf Midwest Cigar Bar, Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge, it's the Final Third Podcast. Everybody, welcome to the Final Third Podcast. Scotty D Smokes here. We have...
I'm Mike.
I'm Will.
Other Will.
And we have Justo.
Hey, how's everybody?
Justo from Aladino, who has been a huge sponsor of the lounge and the show. Justo, thank you so much
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys for
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for coming out and hanging out.
Thank you so much.
We're doing the Aladino event at Final Third tonight. Been going pretty well so far?
So far, pretty good. I mean, it's been a beautiful day. Sometimes they say if it's too beautiful, people don't come, but it's been perfect.
Well,
I think people are just coming in, and it's been nice.
Good. Hey, maybe even some grab and goes, right?
Yeah.
Getting some cigars and
Yeah.
getting some outside.
Grab and goes. Which is a good thing.
Yep,
A couple guys come in, bought a box, just left. Yeah, it's good.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be smoking some Aladino cigars.
Yes.
What
Tell
are
us
we?
about this
What are
one.
we smoking tonight?
So basically tonight we were smoking last year we came out with a limited edition with the Cameroon wrapper. This is actually one of my favorite blends. It's one of the creamiest cigars that is out in the market. And it's a
That makes me
medium
excited. I'm a mouthfeel guy. Everybody knows I'm a
You
mouthfeel
have a
guy.
lot of
So.
nuttiness, even kind of it's extremely creamy. I'm not good at describing flavors because I'm more of a mild, medium. What do you like? Peppery, not peppery. But there's a lot of people that find a lot of flavor profiles that I'm not good at describing. So I'll let you guys describe it.
Okay, well, we'll be smoking it. We'll talk about it. I find it really interesting. You're a mild to medium guy. I like that.
Yes, I'm a mild and medium, but every single cigar that we do, we blend for aroma and flavor because we want people to enjoy whether you're a mild to medium smoker, you get the flavor. So if you're a strong smoker, you'll also enjoy the flavor profile because we give you a lot of aroma. But we also have at a higher end, more powerful guys. We got, for example, the Fumanoche that just came out last year, which is a wonderful stick, in our Reserva. And we're working some other stuff that might be coming
Your
out.
Sumatra is one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
Sumatra is absolutely
It's always fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so where we got some cutters at? Everybody else has got cut.
Yep, we got a
Oh,
cut.
there we go.
That's a V cut and that's a flat cut.
So
Now,
funny enough,
we do have Rob kind of joining us, but he's not on mic, so he's
Rob's
just
sliding
sitting there.
in.
He's overseeing everything. Can I borrow the soft flame? There we go. Thank you.
nice cup.
What's that? You like my cup?
So we all just got back from Orange Beach. We were down on vacation in Alabama. We smoked a lot of cigars down there. We did have some Aladinos. It was from JRE, right? We had some of those cigars.
Yeah.
Yep. But just fantastic cigars, and now we're trying to get back to reality.
Macho.
It's hard.
It's hard to get to reality.
It is very, very difficult. We're all dying right now trying to figure out how do we get back to actually.
We're already planning the next one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I saw your buddy hanging around with you all front seat, all over the margarita.
Flat Grant.
Oh, yeah. Flat Grant. Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Grant's around here somewhere. He's over there.
Yeah, real Grant's here today.
Yep. Yeah. But we had a good time.
Yeah, I think we started, day 4 on the beach with the Camacho.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Yep.
Great
it was
brand.
wonderful.
Fantastic. I know them.
We smoked our fair share of Camachos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that was a good one. We had a lot of Olivas with us.
also fantastic company.
I brought 2 or 3 Cameroon Reservas with me, and that's why I only have 2 left because I smoked a bunch of them last week. But
You know, I've had this
Solid.
cigar before, but it's been quite a while.
Yeah. I think this.
Right from the first puff, the flavor is just fantastic.
Yeah. Like I said, we blend for flavor. That's one of the things we look for in every single one of our cigars.
what's your note? Did you do what's your first flavor on it, Scott?
A little bit of a slight hint of gingerbread.
That's what a word I was
Okay.
looking for.
Yep. Yeah, gingerbread. Yep. Yep.
Pudding. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
It's hitting him right in the gumdrop buttons.
See, I forgot the description.
My cold draw before I hit my first light, it was like a nougat from the cold draw.
oh yeah.
So,
yeah, a little bit
First
of
light, I see where you go with the
caramel
ginger.
nougat. Yep.
A little more
absolutely.
confectionery.
Yep. Yep.
It's very good. You're right.
That
You
was
said
a
creamy.
great cigar.
Yeah, the,
So-
the sweetness
Said I
comes
was
out of
looking
it.
for the pudding.
A little bit more
the
than-
creaminess of the pudding.
It's more sweet than spice. Yep.
What I love about the cigars that have a creamy mouthfeel, to me, like milk is known to have a sweetness.
Yes.
Right? That milk sweet. That
Yes. For example, when I smoke my Connecticut's, for me, which since I'm always traveling on the road and seeing a lot of stores, I will smoke a lot of Connecticut's. I'll smoke a lot of vintage. I'll smoke a lot of Cameroons, because I might do in a day 10 cigars.
Yeah.
So for me, for example, this cigar here is like café con leche.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's very creamy. So that's what I enjoy that cigar.
Okay.
Cafe leche?
Café con leche is
Con leche.
coffee and milk.
Coffee and
Coffee
milk.
milk.
Yeah.
Coffee and milk.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah,
I just
café con leche. Yeah.
my wife is so much better at Spanish
dude,
than
you were
me.
in the
I know.
We-
I know. It's-
You should know this.
I know I should.
Just by that shirt, you should know it.
Look, here's
He
my
had the
thing
wheels
is-
turning. He was
That's what
catching
I'm
them.
saying, yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of Central American culture. I love it down there. I love Mexico.
Oh, Mexico,
It's-
best food. We got
Oh, my
people there are awesome.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I don't go just like, I'm not just a coastal guy, right? I'm not going out to Puerto Vallarta or Cozumel.
You go in- you
I
go
go
in
inland.
country. You go
I'm in the mountains. I'm in Guanajuato.
Guanajuato.
Guanajuato is one of my favorite. My heart belongs in
You know,
Guanajuato.
I actually have never. I've been to Cancun, Islas Mujeres. I just been on the coast, but I've never been to Mexico City or inside.
Oh.
And I heard it's absolutely wonderful.
You have to go to Guanajuato.
Okay.
So I've vacationed there once. I worked there for about a year.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I was in the city of Irapuato, which is south of Guanajuato City by about 30 miles. Big industrial area. I was working for a car parts manufacturer, but the city of Guanajuato, did a vacation there. My wife and I went with my sister and her husband, and it was amazing. Absolutely. It's in the mountains.
It's absolutely
The
wonderful.
food, it's a university town. I just love it. Just great people, great environment, not great cigar shops.
Well, you know, for some reason or another, you know, Central America, probably like Honduras, there's not a big culture. Now it's getting to be a big culture. Mexico either is not a big culture about smoking cigars. So it's a little bit it's trending now. You'll see more people trying to smoke more cigars now than before. But it's never been a culture like it is in the U.S. or the European market. You know, we're more into drinking aguardiente, drinking tequila, you know, rum and coke.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of cigarette culture, but
Right.
not cigars. Cigars are starting to become now something that the new generation is looking at as something that is part of their daily, part of their culture.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
We've had a little bit of dynamic shift with like the age range of our focus too, is typically between like 26 to 34 now.
Yes,
Is like
yes.
the median range of people that come into the lounge here.
Yes.
So
And that-
we've talked about that a couple times.
And I see that, and for example, I think we have been extremely successful because I think since we're like our 7th year of Aladino, we have been capturing that market of that 25 to 35-year-old.
Yeah.
Because you know a lot of these guys want to learn how to smoke, and they want a cigar that is not brutally harsh, it's not going to kill your palate.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you learn to smoke into different profiles that we have with the different wrappers that we have, and they're enjoying a well-constructed cigar. They're enjoying the palates. They're enjoying drinks, and the older generation, like my father and other older generations that were before, they're either stopped smoking because of health issues, but at the same time, a lot of them are passing away.
Yeah.
So it is part of the real life. Yeah.
It is. I find it really interesting the way that the cigar industry has started to change. And I find it especially interesting talking about Central America not being a cigar culture.
Yes.
I feel like in the United States, we've kind of turned a corner. We've seen it with a number of liquors. We've seen it with cigars. were big, bold flavors. You know, kind of this.
Bourbons.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. The bourbons being huge. Bourbon was not a celebrated spirit for a long time. Yeah.
Neither was
Americans-
tequila way back then. Now
Correct.
tequila
Yeah.
is completely gone crazy.
It has.
Yeah.
Oh, we just
And everybody's looking for smoother and smoother.
We celebrate tequila.
we just had
We
just
just had
had
some.
Jose Cuervo 70, which we had never had before.
Don Julio said.
Don Julio. I'm sorry, Don
Don
Julio.
Julio
not
said
Jose
it.
Cuervo.
Reposado?
Don Julio. Well, it was clear.
It was clear.
So
Blanco.
but I know that they do the they filter it now, and they do some of those clears that are reposados or añejos, but they take the color out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still the flavor.
Still the flavor.
The flavor on that Don Julio 70 shocked me.
Yeah.
It completely surprised me. I don't know.
Yeah, it was
Will,
I'm
you're not a
I'm not the
tequila
biggest
guy.
tequila fan, and I actually enjoyed it. And I mean, after 2 margaritas, I mean, sure, but yeah. But yeah,
I
that
drink
Don
what he
Julio
gives me.
But yeah, the Don Julio 70 was actually.
There you go. You know,
I drink what he gives me.
I just
when
go with the party.
Especially when I go to the bourbon places, which I'm not too much of a connoisseur of a drinker because I'm not a big drinker.
Sure.
But I enjoy drinking. And then they'll give me something. But talking about that, Rob, is it possible I could get something to drink with a cigar? Something very very smooth. Whatever the smoothest bourbon, sweetest bourbon you can find.
Lower proof.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't care about the proof. As long as it's smooth. Yeah.
Apple brandy.
Just once a day. Oh, goodness. So,
Shirley Temple?
Shirley
so
Temple.
Justo, I don't know. Have you heard of the apple brandy story here?
No, I have not.
So we talk about it quite a bit on the show. There's a gentleman, Alan Bishop, down in southern Indiana. He's the Black Forest Alchemist
Okay.
on social media. Indiana was the #1 producer of apple brandy in the world
Wow.
prior to Prohibition.
Okay.
And then it got completely destroyed because Prohibition. Well, he's trying very hard to bring it back.
Bring it back.
Yeah. So he did it with Spirits of French Lick. Now he's got Old Homestead, his own place. But we went down and did a barrel pick, 2 actually.
Thank you.
The Starlight Port finished rye.
Oh, this is a
Oh,
great.
it's a
This is
good
a.
I think that'll go
yeah.
great with that cigar.
You'll really enjoy that. That's
call.
nice.
Yeah, and we're almost out of it. So
This is my type. This is
There you go.
So the
my
port
type.
finish, yeah. So actually, we should probably announce the new bottle that's now available at Final Third, right?
Yeah.
yep.
So we've got a Starlight. It's
a double oak.
It's a double
You want to
oak.
bring it over?
Yeah.
So
We're gonna
show it
Will's-
off?
bring the
Will's
bottle
got it.
over and show it off.
He's already better than the other Will.
Yeah.
Why? Just
So
because I
if you
got
can
up?
see that on video. It's
Get it in there.
Rob's gonna get it there. If you get into Final Third, make sure and get this. Rob, what's this going for right now?
Yeah.
$4.99
It's $4.99. No, it's not $4.99.
per quarter ounce.
You've heard it here, folks.
$15.
$4.99.
$15 a pour.
So this was a pick that me, Rob, Eric Jansen,
Shout
Dan
out to
Kidd,
Jansen.
Garrett Lynette, and Ernest Kelly went on. And the whole basis of it is a fundraiser for Mission 22 to raise money for them, for veterans. And we were lucky enough to go on there in partnership with Spirits of Geist. It's a solid double oak.
Yeah.
It ended up being an American double oak, even though it was twofold because the
Try this.
barrel was an American barrel
This is my
and the
type.
lid was a
And the
Hungarian.
bottom of Hungarian.
Yeah, so, but because it was only the lid, it was considered an American double oak. So it's a solid pour.
Yeah. It did something nice.
That's
It
my
did
type
something
of-
good. So
The port
Trey Mac,
finish. The
Trey
port
Mac
finish
approved.
is the first Starlight pick that was done at
yeah,
Final
that's the
Third.
first one.
Yeah.
So that one, I think we're either on the last bottle or the next to last bottle.
Well, I think that might be the last one.
I
'cause
think
Chris
that's the
Gordon
last
bought
one. Chris just bought
one of the
other.
other ones.
Gotcha.
But have no
So-
fear, I've got 2 more at home. So,
Which you'll happily bring in for all of our listeners.
well, for all of us to share with
So for those
our
watching the
listeners.
show,
our
sorry, but
viewing
you're
pleasure.
screwed.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, you can't have any.
You cannot have any more. That's
But
it.
you
This-
can
this
watch
is
and listen
the
to
last
us drink
pour.
it.
Michael, bring it in for your viewing pleasure.
Yes, I'll bring it in so you
Yeah.
can watch and listen to me drink it.
So, Justo, tell us a little bit about your background with Aladino. Like, I got to be honest here. You and I just met. We may have seen each other one time before, but I don't know the whole story, man. I'm really curious about your history with Aladino. And
So just to give you a little bit of a background story. So I am 3rd generation. My grandfather migrated from Spain into Cuba back in the 12, 13. And luckily enough, he was able to get hired by, now, by the Cuban Land and Leaf Company, which is the biggest grower of tobacco in Cuba, and he became the superintendent. So they were, I think, were owned by American Tobacco, which is a big company, which was a big broker of tobacco.
Yeah.
So what happened was he became the superintendent, and then we had a small. So what the Cuban Land and Leaf Company did was basically subcontract individual farmers to grow tobacco. They would harvest all the tobacco, and all that tobacco would come to the U.S. manufacturing industry. We went to Tampa, went to New Hampshire, everywhere that you had cigar factories going there. Also, the tobacco went to Europe. So one of the things that you'll see in our cigar line, you have the years 1947 and 1961.
Mm-hmm.
So and goes to that story because according to my father, these were the golden eras of the Cuban cigar industry, where John F. Kennedy was smoking cigars, Winston Churchill was smoking cigars, Patton was smoking a cigar, the Duke of Rothschild was smoking cigars, because Cuba became very well known. So one of the things that happened, the Cuban Revolution came, and the embargo came in 1962. So what happened was the U.S. factories were not able to import raw materials from Cuba. So everybody was scrambling to get tobaccos for the U.S. manufacturing. And believe it or not, Tampa, Florida was hand rolling 500 million cigars a year,
500 million?
which is the size of the market today.
That's insane.
It is insane. Today's market is around 500 million
Out of the-
cigars.
out of
In
the one
Tampa,
area.
Tampa was the capital of cigar world, and so my father, after he was part of the Bay of Pigs invasion, he was not able to land, but then he had to finish off his tour in the U.S. Army, so he went to Korea. So my dad is a U.S. vet. And then the Oliva family, not the tobacco guys, but the tobacco brokers, took my dad to sort of tobacco that was grown in our farm in 1961. So my dad, after coming back from the U.S. Army in Korea in 1962, went and did all the sorting.
Yeah.
And then my dad basically stayed there and became an independent tobacco grower and started supplying
When
tobacco
you're done with it.
to the U.S. factories. So my dad became probably the largest grower of tobacco in Central America for many, many years.
Wow.
And we became the largest grower of Candela wrapper, which was the dominant wrapper, which is the green wrapper on cigars, back in the 70s. And the rest is history. We acquired in the late 90s Camacho cigars. We had Baccarat, Camacho, La Fontana, the Repeater, National Brand, Legendario. We had many, many brands. And then Davidoff bought us in 2008.
Oh.
So we had a non-compete for many, many years. And I came on board in 2007, and we launched Aladino after our non-compete was over.
Okay, gotcha. Wow, got bought by Davidoff.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
pretty
did
big.
not know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Especially,
So,
I mean-
our cigars are that good that we got bought.
exactly,
The
right.
brand.
Yeah.
But-
Which, I mean, everybody knows Davidoff. That's a
Yeah.
pretty...
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive, beautiful company.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
they're very proud of their cigars.
Yeah.
And they make great cigars.
They
We
make great
actually, we just, our last show that we did, well, I don't know, we'll see how we launch all these things, but the last show that we recorded, we were down in Orange Beach, Alabama.
Okay.
And there's a cigar lounge there called Sure Thing.
Okay.
And their first shop was in Panama City.
Panama City.
Is that by the Panhandle?
Yeah.
They're both on the
Yeah.
Panhandle. So Panama City was the first one, and then Orange Beach is the second, and they're a Davidoff shop. Like that's their
Yeah,
primary
that's
is
their
Davidoff,
thing.
and that's Luke Bryan.
They're not a
country singer.
They're not a
He's
Davidoff
country
exclusive lounge. They're a Davidoff
retailer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it was different. So like we're an Aladino cigar lounge here, and that's what's
Yes.
on the name.
Which we were telling them they
Yeah.
should carry some Aladino down.
Right.
Well, hopefully we'll get that covered pretty soon. We got to go
Yeah.
see them. Plus,
Yeah.
I got connections now with Rob and you guys.
Hey,
So hopefully when they watch the show, they'll bring us in. Hey, you guys got to bring us in.
Hey,
Well, I
shout
love-
out to Stan.
Yeah,
Good
shout out to
thank
Stan.
you, Stan. Stan sent me a nice text message saying he really appreciated the show. He saw the episode and
Nice.
was really, really happy about it. So Great stuff. We love just visiting other cigar lounges.
Oh, it's absolutely. You get to meet great people,
Oh.
the network that you create, and then everybody in the industry is just really fine human beings.
They are. They really are. That's what we find more than anything else is the cigar culture. I love that you called out the cigar culture specifically and what it used to be, 500 million cigars in Tampa.
Yes.
We feel like the cigar culture is growing.
Yes.
Do you feel the same way?
I think there is a new generation that is appreciating cigars. Honestly, like we were talking about, everywhere you go in any lounge, anywhere in the world. Because now I've been to Serbia, I've been to Hungary, I've been to Cyprus, I've been to Dubai, and everybody's basically the same. We have the same. Everybody talks about just good things. If people would smoke more cigars, there would be no wars. I am with you. I am
Yeah.
dead serious. I am dead
with
serious. I mean, one of the things they should do at the UN, as soon as you go into a UN meeting, hand out cigars. Shit you not, it will change the whole world.
Look, we have in Indiana, we have I don't know what they call it, a cigar cabal or some sort of, I don't know what they call it, but there's people on both the Republican and Democrat side, but they're all cigar smokers. And so it's both sides of the aisle
Yeah.
in our Congress in the state of Indiana. And that's one of the things Rob's been working on is trying to lower taxes in Indiana for cigars. And he's actually made progress.
And
I
you,
think we're down
bipartisan,
to 50 cents or something.
and the great
Yeah.
thing about this is that you need to understand. Most people, this is something that is passion, and it's something that you do whether you're by yourself or you do it with friends. And it's the only thing that you do is you should enjoy. I mean, and it can be very personal, but at the same time can be very social.
Yes.
And what you do is one of the biggest killers in today's world is stress. And this is something that you enjoy. It really, winds down with your stress, and you get to enjoy it. You are able to, have great conversations with other people.
Absolutely.
And basically have the opportunity to reflect on what's going on in life. Sometimes I'm stressed out. I get home, and there's so much pressure that's going on everywhere right now. And you smoke a cigar and you relax and you meet other people, and all that you do is just enjoy. So that's why I think it's coming back, because it's something that is relaxing. It does not impair you. You can smoke a cigar, and it's not going to impair you to drive.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been vilified. And all our product is 100% natural.
Yes.
I mean, if you look at, the American Indians, if you look at the different, Central American people, tobacco has always been part of human being culture.
Yes.
And it should not be vilified.
Natural tobacco.
Natural
tobacco.
tobacco.
Not the cigarettes, not the
cigarette-
dip,
Yeah,
not
no
the
additives.
vape, not all those things. I mean, you can't get any more pure than just taking leaves and rolling them together and creating a premium
And every,
product.
yes, and everything
like
is.
what we smoke today.
You're absolutely. You hit it right on the nail, right there, at the head of the nail, and that's what it is. It's all a natural product.
All right, Justo. We are hoping with the podcast to go to PCA,
Okay.
right? The Premium Cigar Association's
In April.
conference
Correct.
in April.
Yes.
I know you probably can't answer this question, but
Okay.
but you guys got anything up
Anything
your
in the
sleeve
works?
there? Anything maybe we should be looking
got-
out?
we got-
You can
we
give
got-
us a little
We got a couple things.
final third podcast exclusive. Come on, a little something.
Not
Like a-
ready. Well, you know what? We got a couple stuff that is coming out now, which is this. This is one of the things that we came out with, which is the Rancho's Habano in Connecticut. Which is,
Okay.
yeah, and you should guys, which one would you want to try, the Connecticut or the Habano? I got some more here, so you guys can try.
I will definitely take a Habano.
Yeah, same.
You want
We're all
Habano?
Habano.
Yes, we are all
so
Habano
We're a
fans.
we're
He's in Connecticut in the morning, but Habano.
this
I think it's great with coffee,
This
but
is something that we're looking right now. We're doing this. We did a soft launch with a lot of us with few stores, and it's doing real well because I know people right now want to smoke but don't want to pay big money. So that's normally around $6-7 MSRP.
really,
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah. So I
Wow.
think this is something that's going to be out there because we always have to look after for the guys that want to smoke. So
okay. So if you smoke McAuliffe cigars,
Yes, they're actually very,
They're
very good.
great, and I love that you're doing this because McAuliffe has a
Yeah, and
he's got a pretty hard focus on some of those $8 to $9 cigars. So yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when we started in 2016, you know, the crazy price of a Robusto was $10. Now it's very hard to find a $10 Robusto.
$10.
it is very
Yeah.
difficult.
So it's very difficult. And
Well,
that-
unless you go to Party Source in Newport, Kentucky,
Oh well.
because you can get a Robusto from my father there for like $10.50.
Final Third Cigar is Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge. Come to Final Third for a selection of over 20 different Aladino cigars, including the Cameroon, a wonderful cigar with nice light flavors. Make sure and visit Final Third, the Aladino exclusive cigar lounge for Indiana.
well, they mark them down less than MSRP. They move volume. Yeah.
Because of what they sell, and they make up their money on the alcohol. So
Yeah.
I go there and I'll get Tabernacles because they're like $11
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a
it's crazy.
Lancero. I'm like,
Yeah. So you're getting
I'll buy
25%.
packs of those.
Yeah.
I'll buy
No,
packs
yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
So tell us about this one a little bit, or what can you tell us about this one?
What I tell you, this is all our 100% of our tobacco, and this is one of the best smoking cigars that you'll find. And I wanted to come out with something that people can still enjoy with fantastic quality, and bring that alternative to smokers. So that's what we're doing.
That's wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love seeing the
Just one size, just a Toro 52x6 in Habano and in Connecticut.
I think it's a great size.
And retailers, they'll get the initial display, and everything else is refill bundles. So we save money on not spending on the boxes. Today, a box averages between $8 and $10. So you're looking around 50 cents on a cigar that you basically
Just
throw
go
away.
in the box.
just for the box.
Just in the box.
Wow. Okay.
So, you know, we try to sacrifice a little bit, you know, give you fantastic quality. And at the same time, we want to give the opportunity for those guys that don't want to spend that much money to be able to enjoy a fantastic cigar.
So this excites me. I don't
Yeah.
know about you guys, but this
Well, this,
seeing this come from such a premium cigar manufacturer as Aladino has been, and seeing that we get a value, what would be considered a value cigar.
Yeah.
I'm excited to smoke this.
Yeah, and I think you'll be very happy when you smoke it.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
interested
I
to
will
see
be.
how it pairs up to my A's that I buy
Yeah.
a shit ton of.
Yeah, so
He buys boxes.
Will buys boxes of McAuliffe A's,
Yeah.
the big boys, the big A's,
Churchills.
Yeah.
the Churchills.
Well, this is 1 inch shorter.
Well, if it smokes as good, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
He might be looking at new
Yeah.
boxes.
I might have
It'll be
another.
bundles. It'll be bundles.
I might have another bundle to staff in my
Yeah,
humidor. So
So how do you save? Do you save on the bands too? I know this one still has a little bit of that gold shiny on there, but
No,
is it
the
about
ba-
the same price?
No, the bands will be more or less the same price.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
Say it's not that much different.
Hey,
but-
I'll give you a perfect example. When I ship a master case, you have 28 to 27 boxes of this. Well, when I bring those, it brings 40, and it weighs less.
Okay.
So just on freight, you're saving a
Saving
lot.
a
lot on
Yeah,
freight,
you're
yeah.
saving a lot. So, you know, you save on the box, you save on the freight. So you look at maybe about 60, 70 cents that you save on freight and boxes. So
That's
you know,
amazing. I've never even thought about that.
It's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Today, packaging, one of the things that happened when we were bringing in containers of raw materials to make boxes, you know, the freight used to be door to door from manufacturer to our plant, $3,000. When COVID, we're down to $22,000.
Oh.
Whoa.
And then the sheet.
Yeah,
of
3 was
wood-
cheap.
The sheet of wood used to be $4. Now it's $8. And now the freight never came down to 3,000. It's like $7,800. So, you know, everything basically doubled. Paint just went crazy. You know, as oil prices go up, it goes crazy.
Yeah.
You know, electricity has gone crazy. I mean, we're going through a process. You know, fertilizers have tripled the prices.
Yeah.
You know, everything is, you know, it's just completely, you know, unfortunately. And I see there is a lot of pressure to keep on moving prices. So we need to see how we could, you know, help the consumer get a, you know, product that is accessible.
Well, look, I mean, you guys make some amazing cigars that I never have a problem paying the price. I look at it and, you know, if I'm going to get a Cameroon Lancero,
Oh, that's out of this world.
it's amazing. You guys,
Yeah.
your quality in rolling. I had a Lancero the other night. It was a sample. I'm not going to call it the brand. It was good. The draw was a little tight. You know, it's just it's just tough. Lanceros are really difficult to make, and you guys,
And
every
that-
single one I smoke is perfect.
I would say today in the industry, we're the largest Lancero company in the world.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Because we like to show off our ability to manufacture and to make the Lancero. It's the hardest cigar to make.
It is.
And,
it is.
and you know, you can smoke boxes and boxes. You know, don't get me wrong. There might be the possibility that you get one. Products are being handmade, but for us, it's you know, I would say our Lancero teams are the best in the world.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And for those out there that are like, Lancero, it's always weird to me that people got weird things about Lanceros. They're like, oh, it makes my hand look too big or whatever. No, look, guys, smoke a Lancero. I promise you're going to be super happy. And they're just different and they're wonderful.
Yep.
They're really wonderful.
The flavor intensity that you get from a Lancero, you're not going to get from any other cigar. You're smoking the most expensive part of the cigar. Wrappers will go from $30 to $50 or $60 or up to $100 a pound when you're looking at Cameroon. And you're smoking the essence of the wrapper.
Yeah.
Because you're smoking way less filler. So the intensity and the flavor profile that you're getting is just amazing.
I love those when the wrapper comes around, whether it's a tip or it's wrapped around, and I get to take that first couple puffs and I get all the wrapper.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, yeah, you get 3 or 4 puffs and that's it.
With a closed foot.
That's it with
Yeah.
a closed foot, and that's all you get is just those few extra puffs. I wish most cigar companies would do that. That's me.
You know what? That is very cool. I was just thinking of that. Maybe I could modify the rancho.
There you go. Absolutely.
That is a good
Wrap it around.
one. He's yelled at me before because I'll get one with the closed foot and I'll toast the shit out of it. And
I'm
he's
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're charcoaling the.
Yeah, it's like
the
just
flavor.
light it and like let it go. Like that's all
You
you're
need a
missing on
match,
that
man.
flavor.
Just a
I'm like,
match
all
and
right,
just
all
let
right.
that thing
Get it?
go.
So after that,
Cedar strip match, anything
That's
like that.
it.
Just
well,
let
that's the
it-
best
look-
time to use those cedar
Oh, yeah.
strips or with the
Cedar
closed
strip.
foot.
Even the soft flame.
Oh yeah.
Slow roll
I
it out
love
of soft flame.
That loves
Oh, those soft. Have you seen those soft flame
absolutely
lines?
beautiful. That's a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, I love
Absolutely
those.
great.
Available at your Finer Third cigar locations.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
As always. Well, it is the Final Third Cigar Podcast.
It is.
So, yep.
Yeah, we gotta plug it all.
Absolutely.
I love it. This one's fantastic. What are you drinking?
So I am drinking. Shit, I can't remember.
Heck yeah, I love that.
Wow. No, Peach Street.
Okay.
That's what it was.
So
Peach
what's that
Street.
doing for you with that
You know,
cigar?
it's wonderful. Look, I actually feel a bit bad overall that there hasn't been more attraction to this Peach
To the
Street.
Peach Tree? We still have a lot.
Yeah, there's still a lot of Peach Tree here. So this was a pick out of Colorado, right? Is
Yeah.
where Peach Street is.
So explain me how you guys do the pick. That's very cool. You go to
Yeah.
different distilleries around the country.
So normally we'll go there, but sometimes, Colorado's pretty far reach. They might send some sample bottles and then we pick a sample and that's what they send us the barrel. Most of the time we actually go to the distillery and then we have a chance to taste different barrels. It was actually my very first barrel pick that I went on was with Rob and Mike was there. There was probably 11 or 12 of us, and we went to Backbone, which Backbone, they don't distill, they buy barrels, and then they do finishes. So they'll take the whiskey and change it from one barrel to another.
Oh, wow, so it gives that a different.
So they'll do like a port barrel or wine barrels or other bourbon barrels that have been done, or barrels that were sent out for beer and then they come back. And then we got to go through and we tasted, I think it was 13.
I don't know. That was so
barrels?
long ago. That was 2
So it was
years
like
ago.
11
So you guys
barrels.
are very happy after all the things.
Oh, yeah.
We tasted like 3 more.
Yeah, we usually are.
Yeah.
And we picked one and we were like,
I think it's
hey,
ever
well,
a bad time.
it was wonderful. It's really interesting. So we're going to do a podcast, I think tomorrow, actually. We're going to do a recording. We don't know when these are going to be released. That's up to Mike. He's the production guy.
So the pressure's on you.
It's all.
You just
He's the
tag
fall-
teamed me on that one.
Yeah.
He's the fall
We're
guy.
going to do something interesting. I don't know if you guys are a part of it, but we would love to do it again if you would send some stuff to us. So we're doing, they called them fumas.
Pumas.
Oh yeah.
Single leaf.
Yeah.
And then we're going to bind multiple single leaves
We do it another
together.
time to try our pilones.
So,
Yeah.
so if at some point you would want to send Rob some single leaf rolls, we're going to do it tomorrow for the first time and see about blending tobacco, which is something we've never done before.
That's very cool.
We're very excited. Like we haven't had this opportunity, and so being able to understand, what you might put into a binder versus a wrapper versus a filler, and how these things blend together, it's exciting for us.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, this
That's
is
very cool.
I feel like
I do that all the time. When I go to the factory, all the month of maybe half of November and December, I spend doing that stuff.
Doing that, yeah. You're blending, you're looking at leaves.
Because we're looking at leaves, see how the process has been moving forward through the years, and then we start trying the tobacco.
So is there a visual element to it when you're looking at leaves? Is there things that you look at and go,
First
I
thing,
mean, I understand obviously the wrapper versus a binder versus a filler.
we definitely look at the composition of the leaf. We look at how the tobacco has aged. We smell it. And also the most important thing, how the tobacco burns. So we'll put a match or a soft flame underneath and see how the leaf itself burns. So because that's very important, so you can get good combustion.
Yeah.
So that's part also of the aging process, and see how the leaf burns. That's very important. If you get a leaf that doesn't burn, you're in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That I've never even thought about what it takes.
Yeah,
like,
those are questions that we've never really asked.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
thought about.
we've done a lot of bourbon investigation, right? With blends and understanding single barrels and things like that. But I think one area we've missed is the cigar world, and some of that I feel like is almost
They're very similar. They got some similarities.
there's a lot of similarities, but the cigar world seems a little protective.
Well,
You want to protect your blends. You know
what? Well, we do protect our blends. They're a lot. They're like you do with different types of liquors. You use corn, rye, different proportions, different barrels, but there will be some similarities that you do, and then you use your personal touch. What do you want to use? I don't know if a certain rye gives you a certain flavor or a certain corn. Gives you a certain
Absolutely.
flavor.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing that you do with the different types of leaves.
Sure.
You use one type of leaf, a different priming, a higher, a lower. So you work on that. But going back to Colorado, I know there's I don't know if it's a Scotch or bourbon that's got kind of like a soldier on it. I don't know.
Horse soldier?
Huh?
Horse soldier.
Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
one.
Gold, there's a
Soldier's
silver
great,
label
yeah.
one and the gold.
I don't know
they
it,
got-
but that's one of
they've
my
got a
favorites.
few.
That's
I
one
don't
of my
think he has
favorites.
I think Horse Soldier.
If you show me the bottle, I'll tell you what it is.
Hey,
'cause
Jim.
I love that one.
Jim.
And it's very kind of similar to this.
Yeah, Jim.
You got a horse soldier over there? No, all gone?
No, the Horse Soldier's all gone.
It's so good, it's gone.
Well, we are going to be doing a show. I'm excited about this. I'm excited to announce it. We just confirmed tonight. One of our favorite restaurants is right over here. It's the Hacienda Mexican
Oh,
restaurant.
there you go. You can't go wrong.
I don't know if you've ever been there.
No, I have not. That's something I got to do next
So,
trip.
so you should definitely go to Hacienda. Antonio's the owner.
Okay.
And
Shout out to Antonio.
Shout out to Antonio. And Antonio has invited us to do a podcast on his patio on the back of the restaurant. And Antonio, he's from Mexico. He's from the Guanajuato area. Guanajuato's a state in the city, so he's from the state of Guanajuato. And he has an amazing bourbon selection.
He's a bourbon
Really,
guy, surprisingly.
He's a bourbon guy, and now he's a tequila guy
He's
too.
he's
got-
definitely a tequila
He's
guy
got
too.
honestly one of the best tequila selections in Central Indiana. I'm
It's
not
insane.
kidding. It's
I can see
amazing.
that. He's got to.
his-
Oh, he does.
His top
he's
shelf
he's
is
a big
amazing.
fan, but he also has a lot of bourbons, and so we're gonna go and do a show from there on the 16th, I
Yep.
think, right?
Yeah, it should be 2 weeks after
Yep.
this.
Yeah.
Should be
We're
2
gonna do
weeks
the
after this one.
16th, and we're gonna do a show there. We're gonna smoke some cigars. We should definitely take an Aladino. In fact, I think I said that the Aladino is what we should take because
Yeah,
it was either that or the Metropolitan.
Metropolitan, yep.
One
Or he
of
was
those
looking for
two.
something sweeter, so maybe like a Fat Bottom Betty
it
or a
could be
Crazy Alice.
a Drew
Jane.
Estate,
Sweet
a
Jane.
Sweet Jane.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
from
they're not
Deadwood.
big cigar smokers, but we're working on them.
Yeah.
We're gonna train them.
Trey, do we have Trey Mac?
Trey.
We do have Tatiscan here. Yeah. Because they're going to do that. I think if they're going to do the taco place over
We're gonna do
Hacienda.
the Mexican
Hacienda.
restaurant.
So there's
Tascan,
new
that's a good
smokers. I
idea.
think Tascan would
We
be
can take some
a
time.
killer cigar for them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that will get Antonio to start trying cigars and really get into cigars.
Soaked in Fireball.
That is the gateway.
like it.
Soaked in Fireball.
Smoking real
Hey,
cigars.
a gateway drug is a perfect way to go, right?
I like them. The thing is, the Fireball is the only one that really worked well. But it worked great.
What's this? So this is like 110, 120 proof?
I think it's about 110.
The Starlight.
116.
Yeah, so this is
Or
happy
no,
juice.
no,
This is what gets me to
106. I'm sorry, that's
106.
106.
still, you know, it's pretty. This what
It's
gets me.
solid,
This gets
yeah.
me to talk smoother.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's funny you're talking about how even with like the different blends with the whiskeys, there are different types of corn that go into it that also play a factor in it. You've got like Oaxacan, blue popcorn. Like there's so many different types of corn.
Bloody
It's not just
Butcher,
yellow dent.
yeah.
It's bloody butcher. You've got so many different strains of corn that go
It will
into whiskeys too.
different. Yeah, that will
That
give you
all
different-
give you different flavor profiles
Yeah.
too. Not just corn to rye to wheat to barley. Like there's so many different variations in that too. And I'm sure that plays
Same
over
thing
to
with the
lead.
tobacco
Right.
varieties. You use one, you could use a Habano, you use a Connecticut, you could use a Corojo 2012, you could use a Habano 2000. Everything changes. They're all different things like corn.
Yeah, piloto. Like
Okay,
there's so
so-
many.
So here's the most important thing we could establish today. You guys are in
Honduras.
Honduras.
Yes, sir.
So when can we come down to Honduras?
We have to work out a schedule with Trey Mac. Trey Mac and my daughters are coordinating the trips. There is trips in February that we're having. So first, guys, that we're doing is, but we might also have something else coming up in April. Honduras is slowly starting to build like a cigar event in the
Oh,
country.
that'd be
so,
cool.
so that might be something that might be able to
Yeah.
happen.
So we know Rob and Lisa have been down there.
Yeah, Rob and Lisa, they were great.
They've been-
Lisa was my co-pilot.
Oh,
Yeah, she did a good job.
No, she made me run over my guy. Then my dad was like, "Oh
You
yeah."
almost ran over somebody. I know.
It was Lisa's fault too.
So we're
And
excited.
the thing is, she says, "Oh, look how beautiful the flower! Turn over it, and boom!" And
You and the driver were both looking for flowers.
I was following Lisa.
Look,
You know,
Rob's looking for
what
flowers.
Lisa wants, Lisa gets. So I was looking for the flower. It's a tobacco flower is pollinating, so we produce our own seed, and then we use that for the future harvests.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to come down, maybe 2026, somewhere around there.
We can work something out, and
Okay.
we Lisa and them are more than welcome. They're part of the big family. I mean, it's
We've got a group that we know we want to come down and visit you guys, be able to see
We'll
the
behave.
factory. More than anything, I want to see the fields.
that's
So,
really impressive.
so we've talked a little.
I make people walk, so you better get ready.
Yeah, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
But
We'll
it's not
walk.
so much walking that you feel.
That's all right. Hey, I heard somebody really likes mojitos after being down there. Yeah, Rob became the mojito.
Mojitos with the Tanascan drink.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
the Tanascan is our aguardiente.
Okay.
It's one of the best aguardientes in the country. And Tanascan means the boss,
Yeah.
the boss of bosses. So there's the boss, there's the CEO, and then there's Tanascan above the CEO. So that's
Okay.
So I've been down to Costa Rica as well as Mexico.
absolutely beautiful Costa Rica.
Love Costa Rica.
Expensive though, it's not that cheap.
It's well, for Americans, it feels cheap.
Yeah, but-
Like, yeah, I know. But yeah, so I don't know if you can tell, but some of us are food guys. We like a little bit
Trust
of
me,
food.
I love food too.
There you go.
Don't
So,
put a seafood tower anywhere near us.
That's right. That's the seafood tower. We destroy the seafood tower. Yes. But love to come down there, visit you guys, be able to enjoy your company
Get y'all in
and,
there, too.
and learn more about how you guys are producing these amazing cigars that you
Thank
make
you.
every day. These are absolutely fantastic.
These are great.
Okay.
Oh, what do you think about your whiskey with that cigar then?
Fantastic.
Yeah, sweet, too sweet.
No, for
Just
me,
right? Goldilocks?
one of the things that I like is smoothness. I love the same thing in my cigars. I don't like them to be too woody,
Yeah.
so or too dry. So I like that.
I've always found that pour goes really well with your Cameroon.
Cameroon.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a Cameroon wrapper,
Yeah.
so that's
Yep.
why I'm really
Unlimited.
enjoying it. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And what did you get? You got the new Starlight?
No, I did the same one.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. So
the,
And it's
the old Starlight.
no, that was the double oak.
that's the new one.
Yeah,
The
the
Double
new
oak.
Starlight.
double oak. Oh.
And
What do
how's
you
the
think?
new Starlight going with
It's
this?
it's
Mind if I give it a sip?
Yeah,
Between-
no, that's the Peachtree, but you can have this sip the Peachtree.
This is the other Starlight.
That's
one.
the
This
other
is the other
Starlight.
Starlight double oak
You
here.
can-
that one's a 116.2, I believe.
This is very, very similar. Very freaking good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was more oaky.
but
you're welcome to have this one, of course. It's
Peach Street's
so this is the Peachtree. It's definitely fruity.
Very nice too. Very nice.
It
One thing
works
I-
very, very well.
one thing I did have
I
noticed
can
with
feel
this
more
one,
alcohol in that one.
There
Yeah.
is.
That one's higher,
It's,
yeah.
it's a little hot. Yeah.
Oh shit, it's hot.
it's
Yeah.
between the two of
it
these,
warms you up, right?
it's very
I'm already warm.
mouth-watering.
You can see I'm turning red.
Like you don't get
Yeah.
the dry feel, you don't get anything like that. It's actually mouth-watering to have the two paired
So
together.
when we did that pick, we had narrowed it down to 5 barrels, and we went back with samples of the 5 barrels for that, and we sat there and we ended up doing it blind. Well, the good part about that is like we narrowed it down to those 5 barrels, so like no answer was wrong.
So,
Yeah.
question. So when you do barrel tasting, they just give you a glass and you taste, and then you make notes of what you like, or
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
We try to keep it separate. That way we don't influence each
each other.
other.
Okay.
And
So you either
then
got a thief
Yeah.
where you pull out the bung, which is like a cork, and they'll put a tube in, and they got a stopper at the top that they can do that and hold it and pull it out, and then they pour it into glasses. Or, as we've seen before, you drill the side of the barrel. If they have them standing upright, you drill through one of the staves, and then you catch it in a bucket, and then you put a little stopper in, and then everybody gets served out of the bucket.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
Yeah,
it's,
just like a little dowel
it's
rod.
really incredible. I highly suggest if you haven't done it before, find a way to
Hopefully in
go
the future I'll be able to do the one of this. Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah,
Aladino
absolutely.
barrel pick.
Yep.
That's a great idea.
All right. Well, Justo, thank you so much. We're going to have Trey Mac come on, but we really...
Actually, I'm his self-helper.
Oh, there you go. Thank you so much for joining us. We
Yeah, man.
really
Appreciate you coming
appreciate
sitting
it.
with us.
Pleasure, my friend.
Yeah,
Thank
heck
you
yeah.
so much.
Absolutely.
Oh, now I'll move out to the rock star coming in.
Enjoy live harness racing action at Harrah's Hoosier Park, Tuesday through Saturday through November 30th. First post on weeknights is 6:15 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Saturdays. Also enjoy the Hop Bebop concert series to go along with racing on Saturdays with local musical acts live from the Hop Outdoor Recreational Area from 7 to 10 p.m. Admission is free. Harrah's Hoosier Park, premier gaming in the heart of the Midwest.
Welcome back to Final Third Podcast. We are now here with Trey Mac from Aladino.
What's up, fellas?
Trey.
My man.
This is so weird. I don't have a microphone.
I know it's odd. We're doing
Yeah.
No.
Lightweight.
we're doing
Lightweight.
the cheap version tonight, I guess, is the way we put it. But
Here, these are pretty awesome.
they actually
Yeah.
are. You know,
I might need some.
We look. They are well worth buying. Yeah,
I'll send you the link.
yeah. So we did
This
this
is
down
what you
in,
use in Harbor.
Yeah.
down at
Yeah.
down at Orange Beach. Yeah. on the
This
short
is the
thing.
case.
Yep.
So you got the charging port for the thing for your phone, and then 2 spots there,
That's
and then charges it up.
Yeah. Sorry. Who makes that? Do you remember?
It's Holly Land.
So Hollyland, if you want to sponsor us, we're big promoters of your shit.
Shout out.
You guys are awesome. So Trey, what's new, man?
I'm adjusting to my new life, which is going to take a while.
Okay, what new life?
What
New
what
role.
change?
Promotion.
So, yeah, Justo and the family promoted me to national sales manager, and I was already doing a lot of that job to begin
Are
with.
you gonna be too big to come visit us?
Right? No.
How else is it gonna get weird?
Yeah.
This is where we get.
Don't make me the only conspiracy guy here.
We're friends already. No, I'll be up here 4 times a year. Gonna just. That's the other thing. Like by the end of the year now. Usually,
Yeah,
I can
Friday,
kinda-
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah. No. Usually, I can kind of like structure my things like every couple of months. I knew where I was going to be and change the schedule. And now, I'm like, no, I have to schedule my people before this year's over,
Right.
Yeah.
so that all the other stuff I have to do can go around. I still have to like. You guys are my priority.
So you gotta come visit us down at the Indianapolis 500,
That would be cool.
dude. Did you see that episode?
If you really want to get
gotta-
weird,
Block
that's,
out the
that's
If you
where.
want to
Yeah.
look weird, that's the
I
place.
love the episode you guys did at the racetrack.
That's that one.
Oh, at the horse
Not
track.
the horse
Oh, at the horse.
track.
Oh, you like that one? Dude, that was so much
That
fun.
was awesome.
Oh, that was
You know,
good.
that was so much fun. We
Yeah.
really
So
like
here's
those
what we're
guys
talking
over
about
there.
doing.
It was- Yeah.
So they're getting towards the end of their season. November 30th is their last race day, but they taper down between now and November 30th. So they're losing like a Tuesday. Now they're going Wednesday,
Right.
Thursday, Friday. Then they'll go Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday. So coming to the end of the year, what we're going to do is we're going to go do another live event there for spring for their opening day.
Awesome.
So you should come hang out there because we're going to make a big deal out of it. So
So
they
we
make
will-
a big deal for us.
We will be here again, like we always do for the Final Four. The Final Fourth, the Final Third. That is on the schedule. So
That'd be a good time.
I
Yeah.
feel like if things would happen to develop at Harrah's pretty well, I could see Aladino's Final Third Cigar Lounge at Harrah's.
It's in the works.
whoa,
It's in the works.
Whoa.
So
You've
Could
heard it
be a
here.
thing.
that'd
Yeah.
be really cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
how
working on
cool
it.
would that be?
And I'm involved in horse racing, so
Really?
yeah. Haven't I told you this?
No, I don't know what it is.
Tell us your horse
Tell us
racing.
your horse racing
I'm
stuff.
on the board of directors for the Kentucky Quarter Horse Racing Association.
my man.
Quarter horses.
Yeah, we love the
No
quarter horses.
kidding.
That's what I grew up doing, everything quarter horses. And then I got involved in Kentucky, and they were wanting to get the breed going in Kentucky. We're building a track out in Ashland. It's going to be
Nice.
a gorgeous facility. And I got started doing that, and it's something I'm passionate about and love.
How awesome is that?
And I,
Once again, we see bourbon, cigars, and horses
they come together.
coming together. I'll tell you, if you're not out at a horse track, you're missing out. This
It's
is
so much fun.
Even
It's
if
a
you don't
blast.
bet, it's a great
And-
time.
And
It is.
all
It is.
forms of horse racing.
Oh, yeah.
And they're different.
Harness,
Thoroughbreds,
Thorough-
standardbreds, the
Yeah.
quarter
Is that
horses.
I always call them the buggy
do that
races
double.
because people
The
don't know
double
what I
open
mean.
style.
Right.
I'm like, you guys have seen the buggies, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, those are more fun than you think they are.
I
Oh, yeah.
think that they're my favorite actually.
When you start getting into it, because there's
The pace versus the trot, the
Yep.
fact that they go off pace,
Yep.
and you're like, you just cuss them because you're like,
Oh,
this is bullshit. Like I bet this great horse, and then they start galloping instead of trotting, and you're pissed. But
I think there's more chess to that than there is thoroughbreds.
I would agree. Now, Mike
100%.
might have it. You think so too?
No, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
you're a thoroughbred guy.
I'm a thoroughbred guy, but when we started going this past year to Harrah's, I got in more into the harness stuff. So,
Yeah.
it's great to learn about these drivers and learn about the horses. And
100%.
you can bet what you know based on the statistics around it. But then,
a
there-
horse gets a burr up its
Always.
ass and
Yeah.
just takes off.
Break
and
stride.
that's it.
Well, see, the quarter horse racing, I don't know if you've ever seen that.
yeah, we
Oh,
watch it. Yeah,
no,
we're
we
betting on
watched
that
it,
shit there.
We watched it on TV, but we have not watched it
Not in person.
So
Because
it's-
that's the sprints,
That's
right?
the opposite. It is drag racing for
Oh.
horses. That's all it is.
So they do that down at Shelbyville, which is also owned by Caesars.
Yep.
So we've actually talked with Gene, our friend Gene. Shout out to Gene.
Shout out, Gene.
Over at Hoosier Park. And he said he would set us up with everything to go down to Shelbyville.
That would be awesome.
So our plan is definitely go out. They do thoroughbreds at Shelbyville. They do the standardbreds at Anderson at Hoosier Park. And they do the quarter horses down at Shelbyville as well. So we want to go see them.
You have to. It's
Yeah.
so fun.
Dude, that's
Love it.
So
I
fun.
think they do like Saturday morning. They do a whole
Yeah.
shit ton of them.
Yeah.
They run.
I win a
whole
lot,
bunch
I
of
lose a lot.
Yeah, this is our
Here comes that.
trifecta king right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already.
So that episode, you watched that one, right?
Yeah.
So like I won the first four races.
But first four races, he gets to try
is
on
this
each
something
one.
that you do all the time? No.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we're in the car on the way to Chattanooga for another episode, and I'm betting on thoroughbreds
You're
the whole
on a
way
heater
down.
horse.
Yeah, yeah.
On
I'm
the-
riding.
We're betting right up until we hit Tennessee state line. Where
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
cannot bet anymore.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
then
a
you
real
got
bummer.
a 3:30 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning text from Rob saying he hit a trifecta in Australia after we spent the whole night at the
Too
track.
funny.
Yeah.
We don't claim him to be a degenerate,
Yeah.
but
It's you're only a degenerate if you're losing.
Yeah,
So
what's the track that he loves? What's the one he always
Yonkers.
bets?
Yonkers.
Hey Rob, how's Yonkers tonight?
I don't know yet. Too early for the Australia market.
he's always betting on Harrah's. We're sitting
So-
there and he's losing. So he's like, I'm going to
I'm
Yonkers.
going to Yonkers. I'm going to bet Yonkers.
Scotty's making me his rendition of the green tea slushy.
Green tea.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
The
so
tiki hut tea.
You'll have to try this.
I was gonna say, not to be a total degenerate myself, but if you guys are degenerates, and it sounds like you are,
Yes.
We've been called a lot of things.
I do one thing in Pennsylvania. I think this is cool to say. I don't know the laws.
This doesn't
We're not
air in
Pennsylvania, it's
Pennsylvania.
We're in Indiana, so it doesn't fucking matter.
We're not there.
We're good.
So I met a bunch of degenerate football gamblers, and I'm one of those as well. And so we got tired of everybody like, well, I did this and I did that, and like nobody wants to talk about their losses, you know. And so it's finally like everybody needs to show receipts, right? Right? Like, wait. What if we did one better than that? What if we started like a fantasy football league but it was all bets.
All bets.
So we structured this league where everybody that's a degenerate, we got them all in a group. There's about 12 people in the group. You have to do a $60 bet, 50, 40, 30, 20, and 10 each week. And they're all spread bets, and you have to post them. Everybody's on one group chat. It has to be posted and recorded. And then that way it's like, nah, put your money where your mouth is. Whoever ends up winning the most money at the end of the year has to throw a party for everybody else. So really, you want to come in second place.
Right, exactly.
I'll get the money.
Well, shit, I'm at the top. I got to make a couple bets.
We had a thing going where if anybody won more than what was it, $500 or $600,
$500.
they had to pay the bar tab for the
I
night.
love it.
Yeah, so everybody pays their bar tabs, and motherfucker
So
over
at
here.
the Dan Patch event, at the end of the night, we've all paid our tabs and everything's winding down. The last main race, he wins 800 and what something.
It was like
dollars.
$850. I
On
hit
the
the
last
try,
race.
the super, and the horse to
my
win.
God.
But here's the kicker: was that the horses that came in second and
It was a
third
dead
were a
heat.
dead heat, so it paid twice on the
So he
super
won
and the
both.
try.
On both.
So it came out to be like
on his
$850
try
after
and
that.
his super. He
But
won
they had
both.
already cashed out.
Right after all of us had paid our tabs already. So
how
he got
convenient.
super lucky. The one time that actually would have happened.
But what you guys should do,
Yeah, you have to try that.
yeah, what is this?
It's Tiki Hut tea.
Tiki Hut team.
It's a green tea martini.
Oh my goodness. All right, so the story behind this.
Oh, I can.
Well, you had this.
So we did an episode.
Right.
You saw it. Sure thing. Cigars down in Orange Beach. Well, while we were down there, we're staying at this amazing condo, which turquoise place is so stupid expensive.
Yeah.
Shout
She'll
out.
need another
But if
one.
you're
We all say
going
I saw the.
yeah.
Yeah.
See how that works?
But if you're gonna go with a group of 6 or 8 people, totally worth it. Reasonable.
Way more affordable.
Reasonable
Oh, yeah.
when you got like 6 or 8 people. It was. I think we were $500 a person.
Yeah.
For a week.
For a week.
That's not bad.
No, it wasn't bad
we
at
spent
all.
way more in
No.
alcohol than we did the trip.
Oh yeah,
believe
big time,
that.
big time.
I
And
spent like
this-
$2,000 in food. But
Yeah, I mean we were staying at a $2.5 million condo, right?
Yeah.
I mean 15th floor, beautiful. They had a bar down there, and they had buckets of liquor.
it's like a
And one
sand
of them-
pail
Yeah,
with a handle.
yeah. Had a handle.
Yeah.
You just carry it out to the beach.
You watch her pour your drinks, and like she's pouring it into a blender first, and like we're like 4 ounces in on the first bottle, and then you get the second bottle, and then the third bottle. By the time you get to the fourth bottle, you're 16 ounces of alcohol in, and then she adds like a little bit of ice to make it
Just
a
a
slushy,
little. Just, yeah.
It's a
and then
little-
pours it in a bucket. And he got a Paloma in a bucket,
the Paloma,
and that was
which it was different from one bartender to the next.
it was.
The early week bartender.
Shout out to her.
She
Yeah,
was
shout-
she was
whoever
loose.
that was.
Loose and fast, huh?
Yeah.
She was like, "Hey, you think I should stop pouring?"
She liked our tan
I'm like,
lines.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
She didn't even look at the blender. She kept talking to you and was just doing this.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, you got to
The
keep them
second
talking.
the weekend bartender seemed to be more for the company and less for the
I
customer.
got you.
But the green tea, which is the drink you just had,
No, that's
we were all super impressed with it. It was really
Yeah,
good.
we were all super drunk.
Which I
by the
love
time.
a
Oh, yeah.
Paloma anyway. I'm a tequila guy. I'm a bourbon guy. I'm actually a booze guy. That was like my phrase goes. I don't think you understand just how much I drink. Right?
Booze guy.
I'm a booze guy. But that's one that's probably going to be offered here at the final third.
Hell
so
yeah.
come in, get the green tea martini.
Totally
It's
worth
gonna
it.
Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that we've talked about it, but I haven't seen you in a while. So I got a job.
A real
Right?
job.
A real job. A
He's
job
got-
that like pays
He's
people.
actually employed full time coming January 1.
What got into you?
We don't know.
Yeah.
He's growing up.
I-
He's our
I'm-
little guy.
you
He's
got to
growing
grow up.
What are you doing?
Working for the Pacers.
No.
Yeah.
Got a studio job. Studio producer and
Producer
director of
job.
operations.
Producer
Good at that.
for the
So-
Pacers.
So it's the stuff I'm doing now, freelancing, but it's full time with the Pacers. So I got to work Pacers, Fever, and
By the way,
Manning.
if you
so.
talk to him about the fact you're on the podcast talking about this, maybe we should make sure that's cool.
I'll ask in January.
We'll ask in January. All right, there we go.
You know what they always say, forgiveness is much easier than permission.
Yeah.
That's
As long as
true.
I'm not drinking at work, I
Bro.
think it's okay.
Listen,
Well, we're pretty sure we're going to end up having Mike get a Pacers player out here.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be like a third stringer, but we'll get somebody out here.
who cares?
Or the
Yeah,
mascot, or the
somebody from
cheerleader.
Manning,
or-
or-
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll get somebody out
Yeah,
here.
we'll get Oscar Sheboy to come hang out. He was on the
that'd be
Madden.
cool.
Yeah. So
No, I don't know if you knew I was a Pacer fan.
I mean, yes, I have always been a Pacers fan.
Of course he
No, I
has.
was a Pacer.
I'm a diehard Pacers fan.
You know, yeah.
Mr. Louisville.
Oh my God. Maybe
Are you really?
Full of shit.
huge
Okay,
Pacer
who's-
fan.
Really? Okay.
Huge.
Who's
I
your
love
opponent
it.
then? What tickets do you want?
No. Here's okay. Here's the thing. So I used to drive before I ever moved out here. I would go to at least one Pacer game a year from Kansas. I'd go all the way to Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
So Mike's got access to some tickets,
get
just so
tickets.
you know.
Oh,
So you need to start texting Mike and
Bro.
be like, bro, when,
So,
they're playing whatever team. You know.
Here's what went down. Because of course I watched the NBA growing up and shit as a kid, but we only had 3 channels, right? Where I'm
Where'd you grow up at?
Southwest Kansas, middle of nowhere.
Okay. Yep.
You got
Yep.
NBC, ABC, and PBS.
And roughly how old are you?
Just turned 40.
Okay, just turned 40. All right.
But Southwest Kansas, you're 10 years behind everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I literally grew
We
up with
stayed
3
there. We know.
3 television channels.
What the fuck's like town is even in Southwest Kansas?
There's not. In fact, where the town that's closest to me was Lake in Kansas. Shout out,
Been there.
which is also
you
Yeah.
bullshit.
We drove through there to take Peanut to his new owners when we dropped him off.
Highway 50. Is that
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
So
nothing there.
So let me tell you. No. There's something there. It's called the Shog. Do you know about the Shog?
I do not. We didn't stop, but
Well, you didn't have to try. You
like, we
drove
didn't
straight
stop.
through the Shog. You drove straight through it. So the Shog out there's like 3,500 people in Kearney County, the whole county, 3,500 people, and like 1 million, maybe more now, cattle. Right? That creates the Shog. And you don't see it during the day, but at night, if you're driving through Highway 50 at night through there, it's a lot of feces in the air. So much so that when you're driving,
Feel
you're
at
like-
home.
You're driving and you're like, man, it's really foggy in Southwest Kansas. And then you
It's
drive
the shit
through
fog?
the fog, and
Methane.
you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a bad smelling fog. And you're like,
Oh my goodness, the
shit
shit
fog.
fog.
Methane fog.
yeah. So
Love
that's
it.
what,
Wow.
but to make the story make sense, I watched the NBA on NBC growing up. Little John Tesh. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, yeah,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, dun,
All right,
dun.
that's what I grew up with. Now, when I was like kind of starting to come of age, there was the Pacers and the Knicks rivalry.
Yes. Yes.
And I
Everybody
saw
wants Knicks.
oh, you had
No, you
to
don't.
Miller score 8 points and 8.6 seconds.
Yeah.
Spike Lee. And I was like, that's my guy. That's my team. And I had a shrine built to him in my room. I built a Reggie Miller shrine. And I own so much Reggie Miller shit, it's
So
ridiculous.
Reggie, if you're listening, this is your dude.
Bro, I have Reggie. If you ever listen to this, and I know you probably won't, but if you do,
We'll tag him.
okay, tag him. I'm sure he cares about the tags. But you know one thing he does like. There's one thing. Hanging with Mr. Cooper, you like French tip nails. I remember that. I was a little kid when you said that on that show, and now I like women with French tip nails, all because of you, Reggie. So mark that down. Number 2, you always host a bowling tournament. How do I know? Because I went to great lengths to get a shirt from your bowling tournament before I ever graduated high school.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Well, our
Jen-
parents owned a bowling alley.
Oh,
Paid for my
She went to college.
college on a bowling
Yeah.
scholarship.
Jen got a scholarship.
oh my gosh. This is all
Taught
So
me how to bowl.
Reggie, if you're checking this out, Reggie, we got bowlers.
Reggie.
We got fans from a long time. You gotta reach out to us.
What?
Everybody gets French tip nails. I'll wear the
I'll
Reggie
do it.
Miller bowling shirt that I got from your tournament. And you just
I was at Reggie's last regular season home game.
oh my god.
And
I'll
the
get the
Pacers,
tips.
I was in a suite. I got a copy
On
of
your
his
toes,
book,
though,
which
right?
is really
Yes.
good. And
Wait, I hate being the I love being the enemy.
right, exactly, yes. It's
Oh, see,
so
I
good.
know all these things.
And you know he got a Bentley. They rolled out after the game. They rolled a Bentley onto the court, and the Simon brothers gave him a
How cool
Bentley.
is that?
As that was great.
How cool is
That would be my everyday driver.
Right. I'm gonna drive this Bentley every day.
Hell yeah.
The
Till you-
oil
till you needed
changes
an
are
oil change.
$4,000, man. I mean,
I just saw one online
Yeah,
for 26,000. I was like,
that's
I could
very
swing
cool.
that. And I was like, oh wait,
So you got the book?
I got the
I
book.
got the book.
got the book.
Well, I'll get you tickets.
It's absolutely. I grew up the same way.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, you love that. That Pacers Knicks,
It was the best.
that rivalry,
The best
was,
rivalry.
was one of the best. It was, one of the rivalries that is kind of forgotten in that era was the Pacers and the Magic.
Oh no, those were great too.
Those were
But-
kind of before the Knicks,
Yeah.
But you didn't
but
have
they were great.
the
It was
big
Shaq
problem-
and Penny.
It was. But you didn't have the Davis brothers versus the Oakleys or
Exactly.
that.
Oh
took
yeah,
it to
that
another
was.
level.
Oh man.
But the Pictures
And
Magic was
Rick
good.
Smits versus Pat
Ewing.
Pat Ewing.
Pat Ewing. You know.
Oh, I mean, that was just
I love Rick Smits.
yeah, man. Rick Smits.
Original Jokic.
So I got a Rick Smith story. You want to hear this Rick Smith
I
story?
didn't know this is where this was going to go. I know.
No, this is great. I love it. I
We
love
never
it.
know. We never know where this is going to go.
So Janelle and Janelle's family,
Duncan Dutchman.
correct. So Janelle's family was in Connecticut. A lot of her family's in Connecticut.
All right.
And so we'd go out to visit her aunt and uncle, and we're coming back, and we're on
3D grant, everyone.
I-80 coming through Pennsylvania, and it starts snowing. And I almost hit a car head on that had spun out.
bad.
Right? Because when you get snowing on I-80 in Pennsylvania, it's serious.
Yeah.
So I'm like, forget it. We're stopping somewhere. So we pull off Hampton Inn. I mean, this was real young in our relationship. We had no money, right? Hampton Inn's like $110. The Red Roof Inn is like $90.
Yep.
And I think we had Mackenzie. I think she was a baby, if I remember. So we stop at the Red Roof Inn.
Oh, I should have went to Hampton.
You would think, but
Except the next morning, we're eating breakfast. And
No.
who's there?
No.
Rick
No.
fucking Smith and his whole family, all dressed out
No
in
way.
Pacers gear.
At
all
the
having
Continental breakfast.
No way.
I'm not kidding. I didn't even go up to him. Because I was like,
I mean,
dude's there with his
Instead of
family.
hogging
I'm
this,
not going to
he's a
bother.
pretty big dude.
Exactly. But I was like,
he
you
was
know
probably
what?
hogging the waffle machine.
Oh, I just look. I didn't want to be one of those people. You know, I just was like, I got my wife here. I got my kid.
Sound like
He's
Janelle.
got his family there. It was enough to be able to say, you know
Speak
what? I saw Rick Smits at the
make the
breakfast
sound, shift
buffet
gears.
at the Red Roof Inn in some bumfuck place in Pennsylvania. It was the coolest thing, wasn't it? Seeing Rick Smits. Yeah, it was. My wife's over there saying, yeah, it was.
She's blushing.
He was retired by then, so he was done. But his family's from Pennsylvania. He's Pennsylvania Dutch. That's what his
That makes sense.
the Dunkin'
Totally
Dutch.
makes sense.
Yeah, she didn't know.
But-
My wife did not have any ideas. She was like, "Who that? What are you?" I'm like, "That's Rick Smits. That's Rick Smits
Yeah.
over there." She's like, "Who? No."
He's the one. He helped.
Mommy or daddy. No, that's not right. Nothing in the
I was all into Rick Smits. She
it
was
wasn't
taking care of
for him-
Kenzie. I was Rick.
If it
Fanboy.
wasn't for Rick Smits, we wouldn't have gotten Arvidas Sabonis, and if it wasn't for Arvidas Sabonis, we would never have gotten Jokic. Like he was.
Between him and Pat Ewing, they proved that the center is still valuable in the NBA. Shaquille O'Neal proved it. I get so tired of this guard. You know, look, love Curry, love the fact that he's out there shooting threes,
But he
love
was there for Reggie.
But I agree,
Yep.
100% agree. And I love shooting the guys that shooting the three.
But-
And it's exciting, but man, those big guys battling in the middle.
You like dudes banging.
I want them banging. That's
But
what
watching
I'm
watching Alien shoot a
why I
three,
use this computer.
like, dude,
I have
fucking Wimby, watching him shoot a three from the logo is like, this dude's like fucking 8
crazy.
feet tall and he's
Yeah.
draining a three
He's-
from the logo.
He's
like,
a whole nother breed. It's
ridiculous.
He's something else, bro.
So here's my celebrity NBA story. I'm walking through the halls of the Pacers, go get dinner one night before a
Wait a
game.
second. How the fuck can you have a celebrity NBA story? You work for the fucking NBA.
I haven't seen the court yet. I've worked with him for 2
That's
years.
a good point. That's a good point.
So like, it's still a shock to me. But I'm walking through the hallway to go get dinner. They're about to play Atlanta. I'm walking through the halls and I see Trey Young with his kid. My first thought was, oh my God, he's about my height. Usually everyone else I see walk through there like Wimby is, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's fucking huge.
right.
I'm walking through, I'm like, that's Trey Young. And like, we're eye level. I'm like, that's cool. Like, he's a short dude.
He's a baller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about the
So-
time like when I met Spud Webb.
Yeah. He's about our size.
5'4".
Yeah.
When did you meet Spud Webb?
I was like 3'4" when I met Spud Webb.
Okay. I've got a Spud Webb story. I don't know if this is the proper place to.
This is the total.
This is-
proper place.
yes.
This is the place.
No, it's not. I don't think. But I love that you brought him up because something happened to me in the last like 3 months of
Wasn't
life.
it a Red Wolf Inn, was it?
Wait.
No.
You met
Okay.
sped up in the last.
in the last 3 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Where?
Come on, tell the story.
No, it's I was in Houston, Texas, which I think he lives there.
Doing?
Oh Jesus, I'm gonna have to do this, aren't I?
Yeah, you do this.
Okay, so I started doing all this Cigars International stuff, right? And the one thing that they do, they like, it's so weird. They make you like this celebrity, which is bullshit, right? Like, I'm not a celebrity.
You are to us.
It's right here.
I'm not even a Z-list, right?
Trey, I don't know. You're getting up there, buddy.
So when you go into these,
You're gonna be on Joe Rogan before you know it.
and I'll be like, "Are you my Fasha?" Anyway, okay. So I'm in Houston or Dallas. I don't remember. It was Texas. It might have been Dallas. Either way,
You're in Texas.
it was. I've done them all, so I can't remember. Just look up which one he lives in, and then
There you go. That's where he is.
so I didn't know this, and I'm there. And when you walk into CI, because they make principals like do their events, right? A rep or a broker, no, and so, Justo, you know,
That's a big organization. They sell a lot of
So
cigars,
and the
yeah.
first time I walk in, the first thing I notice is like they got like 50 TVs, and when you walk in, it's like your pictures on the TV, and it's like meet Trey Mac and learn X, Y, and I'm like, wasn't ready.
Hey,
for
Ron,
this.
a TV maybe right up.
Wasn't ready for this. And so I'm like, yeah, nobody knows who I am. Like, let's just move on. This lady shows up, good looking woman, right? And she's like, I came here just to meet you. And I'm like, okay.
You are famous.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
She's like, they've had your picture up everywhere. And they said you could teach me anything about cigars. And I'm like, all right. So like,
I heard you could teach me things.
yeah, so I'm my daughter.
My daughter. She might be a problem, right?
So I'm talking to this lady, and I'm saying like, are we flirting? You know, what are we doing here? So like, maybe should I ask her for a number? Like, she's a good-looking woman, right? And kind of in my age bracket, which I usually don't do, but you know, it felt appropriate, right? And so we hung out with her for like an hour and a half and told her about everything, and like it was a great time, right? And then she mentioned, she's like, if you notice, especially in Texas, a lot of women come to CI.
Same doctor.
And I was like, yeah, I have noticed that. And she's like, this is where we try to find men. And I'm like, really?
Cigar lounge.
And she's like, yeah. She's like, mainly men that usually have money hang out at cigar lounges.
True. That's
Me-
actually true.
Me and all the girls, like, we want to find a real man. We hang out. And she's like, trust me, you stay here tonight, you'll see half the crowd's going to be women.
Mike is obviously a very manly man.
I am a very manly man.
He looks like Al Borland.
I'm very wealthy.
He looks like Al Borland.
I am. Well,
he puts his flannel on.
Yeah.
she's got the picture.
Well,
I need
we'll
that.
insert a picture. We'll insert it on the podcast. Okay, continue
on
the
the phone.
story.
So she tells me, she's like, yeah, and honestly, just to be real with you, I am here. I'm gonna meet a date here tonight, actually.
Okay.
And I'm
Which
like,
is not
oh.
you.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
Mine's right
cool. Well, I was gonna ask for your
got it.
number, and like,
So maybe, yeah.
and she was like, you know, well, she's like, it's the first date, and I was
She's
like,
already ditching her first date.
yeah. So I get this girl's number, and I'm like, man, once I'm done with work, I'm gonna like see how our date goes, and like, you know, see if I can sneak in on this. And I'm getting done with the event, and I'm leaving the humidor, and I gotta go try to find her, and I see her sitting at this table with like another girl and two guys, right? There's a double date going on. And I look at this guy, and I'm like, yeah, it looks real familiar.
On the double date with her.
With her. And I'm like, no, it looks real familiar.
Bullshit. Was
Oh
that
my
her
God.
first date?
But I
Oh,
couldn't
please.
identify the guy, and I was like, ah. So I walk back in the humidor, and I'm chilling out, and I went to one of the guys working there, and I go, hey, there's this dude over there. He looks extremely familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. And he goes, Spud? And I
No
go,
way.
That is Spud.
Bud Webb was her first date?
But here's the thing. I didn't recognize him at first because he put on like 200 pounds.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Spud, a big old boy. He a big
Ow.
old boy. But his
Really?
face, you can still be like,
Yeah.
you Google it right now, Spud Webb today. He's a big old boy.
so he went from a 5-foot vertical to a 5-inch vertical.
Horizontal.
So he's like shorter than me and like rounder than me, which I'm like, man, I feel like I'm short enough and round enough to begin with.
Right?
But like this guy's shorter and rounder. So then I'm thinking like, she's got a type, bro. She's got a type.
Trey Mac walks out. He goes, "I could take it."
If that doesn't go well, I'm going to meet her
So
tomorrow.
I can jump higher than him now.
I wonder if this chick knows who she's on a date with. Like, does she know who Spud Webb is? Like, for Christ's sake.
Or was it just Tinder or
I have no idea. So,
fucking Harmony like got matched up with Spud Webb.
but either way, I hooked him up. I hope he understands I hooked him up because I don't know if she knew who he was. But I walked up to the table, and the first thing I did was wink at her, and she waved at me, and Spud was like eyeing me down, and I just walked up and like shook his hand. I'm like, I want to thank you for everything you did for the game of basketball, sir. I was like, you're a legend. And he was like, all right. And he shook my hand. And I was like, see you later. And I looked at her and I was like, I'll see you later. And I walked out. That was it.
Oh,
and so I was like, maybe
So,
now she knows
Let's
he's
hope
somebody
that
important.
it tricks a thing in her head, and she's like, "So what'd you do for basketball?" And he's
Yeah,
like, "Let
and
me
then
tell
he
you."
did-
Wingman, he didn't even know it.
And ever.
But
I love
I'm gonna
it.
tell you this: when I like looked at her and like winked at her, and then he did not like that.
Right.
He did not like that. That's when I was like, I better be.
But instead it was an
Push myself a
opportunity.
little bit.
Well, we won't hashtag Spud in this one.
Right after that, Trey Mac signed
No,
up
we
for
absolutely should hashtag Spud in this one.
Trey Mac signed up for
Reggie was just,
NBAonly.com.
Reggie, if you ever want to hear the story in person, like, dude, I'll tell you all about.
Yeah. So here's I dressed up as Al Borland for.
Oh no, that's great.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Yeah. Well, Scott called
Like-
it out.
He was so down in Orange Beach. There was a picture of him. I don't even remember what it was, but I was immediately, for some reason, like, Mike looks really familiar to somebody else. And I started like, where is it? Where is it? I'm like, the
Dr.
fucking
Seuss?
dude from Home Improvement. Looked it up. Al Borland. That's a perfect match right there.
That one picture.
Sorry, Jen.
We already did. We showed him.
I already
Jen,
did.
you're married to Al Borland.
I know.
Oh, she was
That's
Heidi.
cool. I got Heidi.
That was Heidi.
You do have Heidi. That's true.
Yeah, she was Heidi.
That's
It's awesome.
Well, Heidi
Huge
/
boobs.
Lisa.
I was
Sorry.
Scott. We've talked about this.
I know.
They're there. They're not there for you to talk about.
Well, we'll talk about him some. Occasionally. Whatever.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob.
That's
can I
so
get a-
funny.
Wasn't that perfect? That was good.
Whatever.
That was a good one.
That was
Something.
I can't believe
yeah,
you
same
pulled
place,
out Spud Webb, and then my brain was like,
All right. So, Trey, we can't bring you here. I was so disappointed to miss the last show when you were here. I wasn't here.
I was sad.
I was very sad. So,
But we're making up for it.
we are.
I'm always sad when I can't see Trey.
All right. So, I've got a number of family members that are pretty heavy into conspiracies.
Oh boy.
Give it to us.
Which one?
Well, I like the ones that I heard that you're interested in. Some of them I'm like, I'm too involved in some cases to be able to buy into certain conspiracies.
Are you involved in the conspiracy itself?
Correct. I am part of the conspiracy.
Like
I am
internet
part
is
of
dead theory.
Correct. So like internet shutdown, I'm like,
Easy.
no, you can't shut down the internet because I know how the internet works. I help build parts of it. So as part of my career. So you can't shut down the internet.
Build it for the Masons,
No, I did not. I built it just for companies. They paid me.
Masonic companies. But yeah, I got you.
He worked for Al Gore. No.
So I don't buy
The airport, I built that system.
Also, I had a customer at ExxonMobil for a long time, so I don't buy anything about this planes, the chemtrail shit.
Chemtrails.
Like
Wait. You don't buy anything.
zero.
Okay, well, you can't do that because they do spray chemicals.
Well, they do by default because you're burning a fossil fuel, so that happens.
There's
see-
actual patents for the
No,
machines
hold
that
on,
chemical
hold on,
spread.
hold on.
There's
Wait a
photos
second,
of
wait a
it.
second.
We see clouds all the time.
Like being able to get, I know being able to get clouds, you can do, what is it?
Cloud
Sodium, silver, sodium or something to be able to get weather clouds. You can do
Clouds
that.
to either bring it up or down.
We can do
We've
that.
done that for.
We've done it for a long time.
Dubai does
Hold
it.
on. Now I'm already. This is the easiest one.
No, this is
Arp.
bullshit.
No.
Because they're like, it's mind control. And I'm like, no, it's just a fucking
Okay.
plane up in the sky, okay?
Okay, but here's the
Do you
problem.
realize there's like
It's
100,000
you realize-
people involved in fueling a plane?
You realize it's in the middle. It's in the middle. Like, is it mind control? No, but do we cloud seed and are there chemical chills? Yes. I mean, did we alter the people? Look it up. Did we alter the weather in Vietnam? Yes, we
Yes,
did.
we did.
Look it up.
Did we alter the forest? Did we alter the
Yes.
ecosystem?
Okay, so hold on. Before you keep going, tell
love
us about the hurricanes.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, I
man.
got to experience my
Hurricane
first hurricane.
steering.
You got to be in a hurricane?
That's my first one.
Which
And
one?
it's always been on my bucket list.
I actually would really like to be in a hurricane too.
Okay,
A
so
good category two.
I've done a million tornado, not a million, probably 100, maybe a little more than 100, but never, I've done everything, earthquake, no hurricane. And by default, I got to experience one recently.
All right, which one?
The first one that hit,
Helene.
yes, the one that really,
You were at Helene.
the
Okay.
one that screwed up Ashland.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we got all the way up to the
Asheville,
Carolinas.
Asheville,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was in Clearwater, Florida,
Oh man,
which is where they thought it was going to
Make landfall.
That'd be just north, right?
And we were like sitting there at the broker that works for us. We're at his place, and who's on the water. His place is literally on the water. And I'm like, it's beautiful. And he's like, yeah, we got this hurricane coming. He's like, I don't know. He's like, it is what it is. Like
The
don't worry
Waffle
about
House
it.
is still open.
Yeah.
That's how they track is Waffle House closed or not.
And we had 2 events set up on from Sarasota to Tampa. So we were doing events that week right there, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, this hurricane's coming. And he's like, just trust me, as someone who's lived in Florida his whole life, he goes, you never really know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
You just play it by ear.
And 5 miles makes a big difference
Yeah.
with those. I
And I'm
mean,
sitting
it's
there like, this thing looks really big and it looks like there's no way to miss it. And he's like, well, we just play it by ear. And then the next morning, we got forced evacuated. And I was like, I think now Weeze has to go. And it's like, where do we go? And he's like, dude, we didn't just get in the car and we
don't give a fuck,
We
just
go
leave.
east.
We just
try to
drive.
get to the other side of the state.
right. Driving
I'm like,
inland.
That makes sense. But then of course everybody else has the same
same thing.
idea. And so I was like, oh my God, we're just gonna be sitting in traffic for hours as this hurricane just pelts us. And that's what pretty much happened. But we did go all the way to Daytona Beach on the other side of Florida. And in Daytona, it was just wind. Nothing terrible happened. It was probably like 60-mile-an-hour straight line winds for like a day.
We got
Which
that
is-
here.
Yeah, we have that here all the time.
So I'm in the middle of this hurricane. Well, especially the beginning. Like we waited too long to leave. We waited way too long to leave, but it was okay. And then we get back to Clearwater because I got to fly out of Tampa, right? And so far we're driving through Tampa, and it's like not as bad as I thought. Damage, sure, but like not as bad, not as bad. And then we get onto the causeway to go to Clearwater, and I was like, oh. Well, that's not going to happen. There was like 6 feet of sand, and it was packed. It was like packed on top of the entire causeway. And I was like, well, how did we get back to your place? He goes, I don't know. I just moved here a couple months ago. This is the only way I know to get to Clearwater. I was like, well, I don't know. Just take me to the airport. I'll sleep there and fly out in the morning. Like, I don't know what you're going to do, but
Planes are upside down. And
yeah.
Runways covered in sand. And
but it is amazing to me how much the sand moves.
It's crazy.
It
I'd never
goes
seen
everywhere.
that.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that. That was wild. But then I'm thinking, okay, they actually didn't lose power at his place, even though like trees were down and it looked bad.
Huh.
But the power was actually there. He never lost power.
Well, majority of the power there is buried.
I'm
Yeah,
learning
for
these
that reason,
things.
yeah.
I don't know these things. I'm like, how did this guy not lose power? Crazy. Get on a plane, fly back to northern Kentucky, where I live, only to discover that there's just as many trees down there.
And no power?
They've been without power for 3 days, and my apartment smells like fish because guess what? I had fish in the freezer. Power's been out for 3 days.
Salt life.
I'm trying
Salt
not to
life.
throw up. And I'm like,
Salt life in
how
Kentucky.
did I fly to Kentucky only to discover it was worse
The storm
here
was
than
worse here than
Oh, my
there.
God.
Well, it was definitely worse in the Carolinas. I mean, they
Oh,
got
yeah.
20 plus inches of rain.
Well,
which
they dealt with
that's
it for
just
2
not a
weeks
thing.
after the fact. Like,
Yeah, it was
They're
crazy.
still dealing with it. There's a couple of stores I'll shout out there. Casablanca. Very sorry about your loss.
if you need a mattress, hit me up.
We're in the process.
That sounded weird.
That sounded
It
really
sounds
weird.
really odd.
You said let's get weird. So
But Casablanca Cigar is a great place out there in North Carolina, outside of Asheville. They're doing a charity event to help raise money for like rebuilding and everything.
Good.
So go out and support them if you're out there. And then I think another place is called Social Cigar. They also got completely flooded out there. Another really nice place. Young guy, similar to Rob, similar type atmosphere, and everything completely flooded. So if you're in those areas, or even if you're not, like the cigar community is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Reach out
Yeah.
to those two people out there and maybe find a way like you can help out because they were two awesome shops.
We know there's a lot of people that are struggling
Yeah.
out there right now.
I'll take this time for a shameless plug for Spencer Lee's. If you're in the path of either of these two storms, Helene or Milton, and you have animals, pets, cats, dogs, turtles, whatever you need, we donate 100% of proceeds from our sales to animal rescues and getting food for animals and shelter for them. So if you need help, please reach out to us. SpencerLees.com, Spencer Lees on Facebook. Both are visuals, Final Third Cigar. Reach out to us. Let us know what you need, and we will get you hooked up with stuff for your pets and make sure that you have adequate shelter and food and whatever you need. So,
We're big believers in helping people
yeah,
here.
so
Yeah,
And-
it's a big deal.
And I want to, just to bring this full circle, if you feel like the government's ever screwed you with weather, holler at your boy here because I've seen it happen. You ever seen a hurricane get stronger after it hits land?
Not
Twice.
really.
Or changes direction.
twice in the last month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Twice in the last month.
Or the fact that 10 years ago it was the exact same storm, the same date, the same name.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
All right,
Helene.
so what is your diehard stand on top of the mountain conspiracy? Like the one that you're like, if you don't believe
Are you
this,
talking about ones that have already been proven correct? Or
no, just whatever. I don't care if
We're
they've
not
been
talking
proven
Jesse
correct.
Ventura style here.
No, I'm just saying what's the thing that
because there's
you're
a lot of conspiracies
Because
that
honestly, I feel like you and I would have some fun conversations. So I'm kind of an anti-conspiracy guy.
but that makes for a good conversation.
Exactly. Which
We help each other, actually.
that's the thing is I like that. I like that. Now I'm
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that's like they
Because-
talk about how
well-
don't talk about politics and religion. And I'm like, I always want to talk about politics and religion.
Yeah.
If I can talk to anybody that's willing to sit and just talk about it.
So
So I love hearing these conspiracy theories. And I've got some that I'm personally involved in. Like the internet thing is like really personal to me because I
help build it.
yes. And so that's one of those where I'm like, I get like,
Did I conspire?
I get a little defensive because I'm kind of like, man, that was part of that. Like, I don't like the idea of people saying
Go to our
the negative connotations, but I still have good conversations about it.
Yeah.
So kind of what's the top level?
Like, think about this. 50 years ago, if you said that the government injected people with syphilis just for shits and giggles and to learn what happens, you'd be like, that's the craziest thing ever. They
it would
were
certainly
Tuskegee
sound
experiment.
crazy. Yeah, I would call
They
it
were like,
yeah, pretty out there.
Yeah, Tuskegee, and it's the real deal. Project Blue Book, Project Paperclip, all
Blue
these things
Beam.
were they were conspiracies that now we're like, oh yeah, now it sounded crazy now, and there's plenty of things even now where it's like, come on, like if you
The ones that are kind of small like that, totally believable. Totally get it.
you think
Turn
that's
the
small?
frogs gay.
Well,
They totally turned the frogs gay.
compared to saying some of the massive stuff. I mean,
Like what? What's more massive than injecting people with syphilis?
Well,